So we finished down on the day, but up on the week. It looks like the market's finally starting to consider coronavirus again. I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal as it was in the past. I don't think we're really going to have to be super fearful. And, I'm not going to discount it. That entirely could not be the case. But here's the thing. So the rate of increase, the rate of amount of cases we were adding per day was going up, and it was going up very quickly. But then it hit a point. It went 4,000, 4,000, 3,000. 3,000 yesterday. Like yesterday, we're going to get another set of numbers sometime soon. We'll see how that is. But the fact that it flatlined and then decreased, I think that's a very good sign. The market was kind of reacting to it a little bit, but I think it was more because there was no positive news, and the market wants positive news. The past couple of days, we've had good earnings, we've had IPOs, everyone's had reasons to be happy and everything. Today, we didn't really have a whole lot going on. We just had people talking about the coronavirus and economists coming out and saying, it's going to hurt our revenue in China. There are companies saying that, and then economists reiterating that. And then Jerome Powell, the chairman or the head of the Fed, basically saying, coronavirus is a big uncertainty in the market. A lot of people saying that China's GDP is going to be zero. JP Morgan said it's going to be 1%. Somebody from Goldman was talking today being like, it's definitely going to hurt China. These are kind of the things that are taking the headlines, and that's affecting the market. That's, the market is very reactionary to those kinds of things. So with that being said, I think you should still position yourself for the long run. I don't think it's going to have any sort of effect on the long-term bull run that we're in right now. We're in a very good expansion phase, and we've been in that phase for a very long time. I don't think there's any reason to think that's going to change. The coronavirus is kind of the one catalyst that could have a serious effect. If it went from 4,000 to 6,000 to 10,000, it would be time to start getting worried, because then it would go to 15,000, then it would go to 20,000 per day. That would keep China closed for a very long time. That would eventually have a domino effect around the rest of the world. Possibly. I'm not going to say that yet, but they've done a very good job of containing it. 80% of the cases are in the Wuhan province. I think we're good on coronavirus. Let's see how it plays out over the weekend. The weekend's going to be 2 days now that we're just going to let this thing kind of boil. Could be tomorrow, we're down to 2,000 cases per day. Next day, 1,500, whatever it is, it's looking solid. It's not looking worse. The last 2 days didn't get worse. So I was kind of waiting for that to happen. That happened. It's happening. Now let's see if it continues on that trend. The market should just kind of be fine on Monday then if that happens. If it's no coronavirus fears, we should be back on the bull run. Job numbers today were fantastic, beating expectations. And here's the big thing. It's not about the amount of jobs we added. It's about the labor force participation rate. So people are seeing that wages are coming up. Everyone wants a job. So a lot of people are entering the job market again. That's going to boost productivity, and it's good for companies. If they have, one of the biggest problems right now is not employment. We're at such a low level of unemployment that it's not an issue, getting a job. It's companies not being able to hire enough people. They want more people than are available. Labor's a market. It's good for companies when there's an oversupply of labor, because then, wages go down even though wages are going up, and they can fill the roles they need. Right now, they just want to fill the roles they need. They're willing to pay the price, People are trying to get minimum wage up, all that stuff. So it's good to see that labor force participation is going up, and it's going up fast for people in the, 20 to 34 range. And then also people, in the 60 plus range are also staying in jobs longer. That's just good for health and overall sentiment about life. If people are working longer, obviously it would be nice if they had a ton of retirement money and everything. But, who wants to retire and be a bum? Who wants to sit on the couch and do nothing? That's not good for the world. It's not good for the country. It's not good for people. We want productive people contributing to society. And it seems like everyone's trying to contribute to society and reap the benefits of productivity. But that being said, we've got the next catalyst coming up. That's kind of this Bernie Sanders rise. So Pete Buttigieg, won in Iowa. Who knows what's going on in Iowa? Democrats can't seem to get their own polling together. Massive problem. It's the first state. It's their biggest momentum push, right? This is a momentum push. It's ridiculous. They couldn't get that together. It's a mess. But Bernie Sanders, in my opinion, poses a real threat to Trump. There's a lot of people who don't like Trump. They're brainwashed by the media. They don't understand what's going on. They don't follow the market. They don't really follow the news. They kind of just read the headlines and everything. So Bernie's good at that, just like Trump is good at that. Trump did that as well, but he backs it up. So Bernie could win New Hampshire. And New Hampshire is essentially the new Iowa now because they fucked up Iowa. I don't know if that was... I'm not going to get into that. But regardless, Bernie Sanders is on the rise. If Bernie Sanders gets momentum, that's a big, big, big catalyst for the market if Bernie Sanders were to become president. Even any sort of uncertainty, if he starts doing well in the polls against Trump and it, looks like it's going to be a contentious election, that's going to throw some uncertainty in the market, and people aren't going to like that. CEOs aren't going to want to make bets in an uncertain future. So let's see what happens. Let's watch the election. Let's see what happens with New Hampshire. Let's see what happens in the states coming up. Super Tuesday and everything. When that happens, I don't know exactly when that is, but I know it's on Super Tuesday in the next couple of weeks, maybe in March. And yeah, we'll keep you updated. Peace. Have a good weekend.